Corinthians beat the second division last year, and my team put them on the second division.
Yeah, but I think Corinthians doing alright this year, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they do alright. It's serious. They do alright.
The one thing I was disappointed in Brazil is that I couldn't find a Corinthians football shirt. So maybe next time you come to London, you can buy me a Corinthians football shirt.
What are you talking about? You can find a Corinthians t-shirt.
Yeah, the official one.
Oh, no, it's not hard to find. It's easy to find. Any shopping center you can find.
No, I couldn't find one. They're all fake. I wanted like the proper one.
I can give you as a present. I can give you. Ele disse que a única coisa que deixou ele frustrado aqui no Brasil foi ele não ter achado uma camisa do Corinthians. É mole, uma camisa do Corinthians, cara. Eu não acredito. Não acredito. Isso é um fato horrível. That's horrible. I'm joking. Tô brincando aqui. Ele disse que virou corintiano mesmo. E eu falei que o Corinthians, que o meu time tirou o Corinthians com o Corinthians na segunda divisão. Ele falou, mas agora estou jogando bem. E então mesmo, a gente tem que. Não posso falar nada, tem que ficar quieto. Mas o meu time está disputando a Libertadores da América, que é o que mais importante. So, Gavin, let's back to the business. Back to the interview. Well, one thing, the music stop. Let's listen Jasmine again, once again. Moving Shadow Records. We start, the question is, I'm not gonna ask you the question again, like, oh, how do you start making music? Oh, blah 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 blah. But how did you contact the Moving Shadow guys and start, making this music, making drum and bass, jungle, whatever. Because for me, drum and bass is jungle is drum and bass, and so people like labels, like put labels in the music. It just pisses me off so much. So, what do you think about this? Eu tô falando que vou fazer a pergunta pra ele como ele começou com os caras da Moving Shadow, como ele conheceu os caras pra fazer jungle, drum and bass, que, pô, as pessoas gostam de fazer muito rótulo, isso aqui, ele fala que Django é Django, Django é bass, mas pra gente Django é Django e Django é a mesma coisa. Então ele vai responder aqui a pergunta e eu vou traduzir pra vocês.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I feel the same. Jungle, drum and bass is the same thing. There's no difference. It's the media that likes to pigeonhole and to create new names for different for our music. And basically, when I first started, I used to work in a record shop in the West End, so I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of DJs, producers, a lot of record labels, and I knew Rob Playford from when he used to come into my shop, and I used to sell him records. So he told me he was starting up Moving Shadow. I knew the other guys that used to work Moving Shadow, Cy and Sean, later became known as Two Bad Mice and Deep Blue. And at the time I was doing my own music and releasing it on White Label, and also I had a release on Absolute 2, Give It a Little Love, and then I decided to start up another alias, Cloud9, and do stuff with Moving Shadow.
Legal, ele disse que conheceu o Rob Playford, conheceu o Sean e o Cy Collybrook. Ele conheceu os caras na loja de discos que ele trabalhava, e os caras já estavam começando com a Moving Shadow. Pra quem não sabe, o Sean é o Deep Blue, o cara que fez Helicopter Chin, junto com o Cy Collybrook e o Colebrook e o Rob Playford, eles formavam Two Bad Mice. E o Rob Playford falou, tava começando um label, isso e aquilo, e falou se eu não queria participar pra fazer música com eles, tal, pro label deles. E ele falou, tudo bem, vamos fazer. E ele começou a lançar as músicas pelo codinome de Cloud9. Another question, what do you mean Cloud9? I don't know.
Cloud9 in English is an expression. It means you're happy, you're joyful. If you're on Cloud9, it means nothing can get you down. You're just on Cloud9, you're so happy, and that's what I wanted to create, that kind of feeling, that when you listen to the Cloud9 sound, you're in heaven.
Makes sense. Ele diz que Cloud9 é uma coisa, uma expressão inglesa que diz que você sempre vai estar feliz, entendeu? Não importa o que aconteça, você sempre vai estar, você sempre tá feliz, né? Você tá com esse espírito bacana, e acho que isso é muito importante, é isso que ele tentou transmitir em todos os releases que ele lançou pela Moving Shadow. Tell us about your big partner Ray Keefe. You big partner for like a long time. You guys did so many remixes. Like I remember one of my favorites is the DJ Mayhem one in a sea. That's a bad shit. The original, I don't care about the original. I just care about the remix. Tell us about this story, because Ray Keefe has been here for a couple times. I bring him twice. DJ Andy bring him like, I don't know, about 3 or 4 times, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, me and Ray, we do go back a long way, because when I was working in Red Records in London, he was working for City Sounds, and we got introduced by a good friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours called Pedro, and thing is, like,
Pedro is a big guy, man. He's a big guy. I was his cat when I met him. Just like, okay.
Yeah, the Pedge, he's a big guy, but he's a gentle giant. And me and Ray, we've got the same background. My family, my mother's from Mauritius, and his family is from Mauritius as well. So our families, we got that connection. And he used to come round to my parents' house where I used to have my studio, and we used to do all the work in my studio at my parents' house, and that's where we made Renegade Terrorist and made a lot of the remixes and Sing Time and all them tracks. And we just kind of clicked together. You know, he's got some good ideas, and I know how to use the equipment, and I put some of my ideas into it. And I mean, some partnerships work great, and some partnerships, you just end up arguing. But we've seem to have that kind of connection. We do have a few arguments, but we tend to work them out. That's the thing.
That's normal, isn't it? That's normal, little arguments is normal. Bom, ele disse que conhece o Ray Keefe há muito tempo. Tanto a família dele como a família do Ray Keefe, eles são de Mauritius. Mauritius, isn't it?
Yeah, Mauritius, yeah.
It's like a beach place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beach place. It's basically an island, a small island in the Indian Ocean, near Maldives, Seychelles, Madagascar, and that's the motherland for me.
Ok, Maldives fica perto ali de Madagascar. E é maravilhoso ali, um lugar lindo. Nunca pude ir, mas um dia I hope I can go one day. Yeah, I wanna check it out. E, pô, o Ray Keefe trabalhava na City Sounds, enquanto ele trabalhava na Red Records, e teve aquele clique, né, de amigos, e o Ray sempre ia na casa dele, e o Ray veio com bastante ideias, e o Nookie sabia como usar o equipamento, e foi aí que surgiu toda a parceria, surgiu aí o Renegade Terrorist, mas também teve alguns argumentos, como toda dupla, né, toda dupla tem argumentos. I think the only, like, people never had arguments, like, working together, because it's Miffy and Quiff, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's good to have arguments, but it's the most important thing is that you can work things out, and that's me and Ray. I'm the smooth partner, and he's more the rough side.
Ele disse que é sempre bom ter argumentos com as pessoas, discutir as coisas, né? Mas ele sempre foi da parte mais calma, e o Ray sempre foi da parte mais agitado e coisa e tal. Back in the day, you DJ quite a lot with Movie Shadow guys and clubs and raves. Because for me, like, because by the time we don't have internet or something like that, so I will see you more as producer. So that's a good question, I think.
A lot of people think that I was a producer first, before I was a DJ. That's not the case. I was really into my hip hop and electro, proper electro, not electro house.
No,
No, we're talking like Kraftwerk, Africa Bambaataa, and that electro. And I was kind of, we had like a hip hop group when I was a teenager, and I was the DJ. So I was always doing some DJing back in the days, and then I got into producing, and then still doing a little bit of DJing, but then obviously I became more well known as a producer. So I've been DJing for a long time.
Ele disse que todo mundo acha que ele foi produtor primeiro, mas não, ele nos tempos de que ele curtia hip hop, eletro real mesmo, Afrika Bambata, Cybertron, Kraftwerk, ele tinha até um grupo de breakdance, e ele era o DJ do grupo. Então, na verdade, ele sempre foi DJ. Aí depois de um tempo que ele começou a se interessar por produção musical e coisa e tal. E, pô, essa é uma pergunta muito bacana. I forgot about this question. That's a wicked question. No. And do you enjoy more DJ or making music?
I mean, obviously both have its advantages. I love DJing because I love connecting with the crowd. I love playing music, and it's a good opportunity and a good chance to play new tunes and test them out. But my heart is really in the studio. That's where I can get really creative and experiment with making different sounds. Because that's what I've always wanted to do is just to make music.
Bom, ele diz que são duas coisas diferentes. Ele gosta, adora tocar. É bom pra caramba, tipo, contato com o público, poder divulgar as músicas dele, poder testar as músicas novas na pista, mas o coração dele não tem jeito, é no estúdio mesmo, e isso é muito bacana. Tell us about the connection with For Hero and all these guys from Rainforest, because it's a big label. And also, before that, you had a label back in the day, and at Daddy Arm's house, isn't it? I don't have one release of this label. No one.
Yeah, I've released about 5 or 6 tunes on Daddy Arm's house. That was the label I started with Pedro. And that was a long time ago. And that was when I was still working at Red Records. And because I was making music then, and that was the thing to do, was start your own label, put it out on white label, and then we called it Daddy Arm's House. And that was a long time ago. That was really my early stuff, which was kind of like breakbeaty, kind of hardcore.
What was the label? But was a record shop as well called Daddy Arm's House, isn't it?
Yeah, that was my record shop. Basically, after I left Red Records, I opened my own record shop in Hertfordshire, a place called Hitchin, and I called it Daddy Arm's House Records. That was my record shop.
And you sell records for like a long time or just a short time?
Yeah, quite a long time. I think I had the shop for about 6-7 years, and it was a really nice shop and a big space out the back of my studio. Ray used to come up there and we used to work in that studio, and I had an apartment above the shop, so I used to live there as well. And they were a good time.
Ah, wicked. Whoa, let me translate this. That's crazy. Ele disse que, eu perguntei pra ele sobre o selo dele, Daddy Arm's House. Ele disse que é um selo que ele fez junto com o Pedro, que foi um grande parceiro dele. E na verdade tinha esse selo e era muito bacana. Ele lançou acho que 4 ou 5 releases por esse selo, o que foi muito bom. Com o White Label, até disse que eu não tenho nenhum disco desse selo, que pô, é muito difícil conseguir os discos, né, nessa época. E ele disse, e aí depois eu perguntei pra ele também, que eu pesquisei isso, e ele tinha uma loja de discos chamada Daddy Arm's House. E ele disse que era uma loja muito bacana, era a loja dele, ele ficou com essa loja durante 6-7 anos, e atrás da loja era um espaço muito bacana, foi onde ele montou o estúdio, e em cima tinha um flat que era onde ele morava. Então imagina, era a loja de disco dele, e em cima era o flat e atrás era o estúdio. Pô, muito legal. E isso ele disse que foi foi muito legal, assim, bons tempos. Absolute 2 Records. It's a Simon Bassline Smith label, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Simon Bassline Smith used to own Absolute 2 Records. Obviously, I had stuff out on Absolute 2. Ray had some stuff out, and Doc Scott, MS6, and I think that was about it. Absolute 2 didn't really run for too long, mainly because they didn't really know how to run a record label.
That's a good answer. Ele disse que eu perguntei do Absolute 2 Records, que ele lançou a primeira versão do Give a Little Love, dessa música que você está escutando aí de fundo. E eu não sabia, eu pesquisei também e soube que o selo era do Simon Bass, Line Smith, e lançava músicas de artistas como como Nookie, Toxcore, so many people in it on Absolute.
Ray Keith,
MS6, Ray Keith, então quer dizer, muitas coisas legais. All your tunes, it's got like the pianos and this atmosphere is like, you know, bring the summer vibe, you know, on the raves and stuff like that. I think it's because it's all the tunes you made back in the day, so big, massive. And did you miss this in drum and bass?
Yeah, I do miss the piano element in drum and bass these days, because it can still work. I mean, High Contrast has proved that point with I can't remember the name of the tune.
If We Ever.
Yeah, If We Ever, that's the one.
But do you know what? I think that tune is a rip-off Omni-Trio in the face. You know what I mean?
It does sound like an Omni-Trio kind of production, but he's used it so well, and he's kind of used the old jungle brass as well. And you know, I love the piano sounds. My mother used to play piano, my sister used to play piano, so when I was younger, I used to just hear piano in the house, so I've always had that affiliation. So yeah, I mean, never say never. I think, you know, the piano vibe can still come back, but it has to be used in the correct way, because it can be very easily sound very cheesy using piano. Same with vocals.
Ele disse que ele sente muita falta, e disse até que uma das grandes provas aí, uma das grandes músicas aí foi o High Contrast, If We Ever, que ele usou piano. Eu disse que é uma chupinhada brava aí das músicas do Omni-Trio, mas ele disse que o piano usando com criatividade fica muito legal, quer dizer, você tem que saber dosar as coisas, porque senão fica muito pop, muito comercial também. Então é mais ou menos por aí. Ele disse que no background dele, a mãe dele tocava piano, a irmã dele tocava piano, então foi aí que ele aprendeu a tocar piano, e daí que saiu toda a influência do som dele, né? Principalmente das músicas entre 92 até 95, mais ou menos por aí. Any forthcoming releases on Fusion Records, and also Get Down Tune, what's it called, the other one, the Sound Groove. It's got like the funk element, you know, that's what I like. I remember when I played the first time, and I was with Brian G and Fabio, and they came like crazy and said like, oh my god, yeah, hey ladies, you know, the old boys love that sound. I'll grow up with funk and soul, so that's what I love in drum and bass. So you grew up in the same vibe, basically.
Yeah, I grew up in the same era, listening to that type of music. I've got two older sisters, and they were always into the soul and jazz funk. And that was one of my all-time favourites. The 80s ladies turned on to you. And I was listening to it one day, and I was thinking, you know what, this could work as a little drum and bass riff. So I tried it out, and yeah, it just works. And I know, I've got to say big up to yourself and Fabio, because you guys have been dropping it and supporting it.
Ele disse aí que o background dele totalmente é funk and soul. Ele, as irmãs dele, da época dele, né? E um dia ele estava escutando o 80s Ladies Turn On To You, que é a produção do Roy Ayers, produced by Roy Ayers, né?
Exactly, Roy Ayers is the man.
He's the man, he is the man. E ele falou, meu, acho que vai rolar aqui, vai dar um caldo aqui. E no final das contas ele colocou a música e deu muito certo, e foi muito. E ele disse que um big shout pra mim, pro Fábio, pro Brian, a gente tá dando suporte aí pra música, não só a gente, mas também todos os DJs aí ao redor do mundo. Tell us about your last party, one of your last parties when you left the UK to come to Brazil. You had like a sick lineup, yeah? It was Deep Blue and Omni-Trio back-to-back Shadow, and you, Nookie, Sir, and who else played?
Big Bud played, Chris Blue Martin, and DJ Shine, who's a local boy. Yeah, basically that atmosphere party. I love doing my old school parties, atmosphere old school, and I thought it was about time we done another one. And I really wanted to to do something different, and not many people go back that far to on their old school parties and do like a special Moving Shadow tribute set. So On the Trio's been good friends of mine for a long time. So is Sean Deep Blue, and I thought it'd be a good idea to bring them in because no one's ever really booked them to do old school parties, to do DJ sets. And yeah, it was just it's a great idea, and it got everyone talking and buzzing. And the good thing about On the Trio is that his name is still big out there because of a lot of the remixes that High Contrast have done. But the kids these days, they don't know about the original On the Trio stuff and a lot of the early Moving Shadow stuff. So it was a good idea to have that lineup, and I've got to say big up to Rob and to Paul on the Trio who helped me out and come out of retirement just for one night to play at my party.
That's great line-up. Ele fez uma festa e o line-up era o Deep Blue, que fez Helicopter Chin, e Omni Trio back-to-back também teve Blue Martin, também teve o Nookie, e teve mais um DJ residente, que eu não me lembro o nome, mas ele disse que foi incrível a festa, foi muito importante e provou que as músicas do Omni Trio, o nome do Omni Trio continua grande, né? And Rob is not really DJ, né?
Rob doesn't really DJ that much. He's a very quiet guy. He's a very old guy, and he lives very far away. But yeah, we go back a long, long way because my record shop, Daddy Arm's house, it used to be called Parliament Records, and Parliament Records used to be owned by Rob. So I bought the shop off him.
No, that's deep. That is deep. Now I have to translate. That's heavy to translate. Ele disse que o Rob é muito amigo dele porque antes de ser o Red Records, essa loja que ele trabalhava, era Parliament, yeah?
Yeah, Parliament Records.
Era Parliament Records. E o cara que era o dono dessa loja era o Rob Hay, o Omni Trio. E ele comprou a loja do cara. Você acredita? É impressionante. Isso é história, né? A história da música. E, pô, vocês veem que o negócio o buraco é bem mais embaixo, né? Ele disse que a festa foi incrível e é uma boa lição para a nova geração que não conhece as músicas novas, os clássicos do drum and bass, né? Clássicos como inclusive esse que tá tocando, So Permanent, Omni Trio, Nookie remix. Tell us about this remix you made it. That is insane because the original, I'll tell you what, the original drives me so crazy. But I still play this version and it goes off, yeah? People love it. Because the original, it drives me crazy because it's so beautiful and the way he used the time stretching and, it's for me, it's like magic. Because I put the needle on the record and say, how can I do that? Because it's so much edits. And, it's a shame we don't have these anymore. It's not just about the time stretch, but I think the progress to make a tune. And imagine the progress. I can't imagine the progress to make an EP like you guys always did, like 4 tunes. So, can you tell us a little bit about this magical moment the music had back in the day?
I mean, I think the main thing is to make a beautiful tune. And for everything to work together, you've got to be in the right frame of mind. I mean, a lot of it is by accident. You just experiment with different sounds, and sometimes you might drop your phone on the keyboard and it'll come up with this weird sound, and that might be, the sound for that tune. It's very difficult to explain, but it's just how you're feeling at the time when you're making music and you're making notes and making all different sounds work together. And it's very easy to overdo a tune when you're making a tune, to overproduce a tune. And the trick is to try and keep it to a certain level where you don't overdo it and also you put enough into it.
O cara deu uma aula aqui, que vai ser até difícil assim de traduzir. Mas ele disse que, na verdade tudo é uma questão de como você saber o que você está sentindo na hora, o momento. a vibe que você tá no estúdio pra fazer essa música e conseguir fazer tudo na medida certa, sabe? Você não colocar nem poucos elementos, nem muitos elementos, mas sim fazer tudo na medida certa. Did you miss the time stretch things like that?
Do I miss them times? Not really, no. them times were good because, you know, back in them days, it was all about the new technology and what people can do with the new technology. And the time stretcher thing was all good at the time, but now it's just silly now.
It's just more simple, I think. It's a little bit more simple, but I think by the time you have to be really good, and you have to be good. You know what I mean? I think people like Rob Playford, For Hero, and Dan Donnelly for Superband Bass Records, they are more critics, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I've always said it's not what you use, it's how you use it. So if you're using certain breaks or certain samples, if you use it in a good way and a way that it works with what other sounds and music you've got going on, then it's all good. There's no need to not use it. I mean, the aim and break is a prime example. The aim and break, everyone uses the aim and break, but if you use it in different ways, then it can still sound good.
Ele disse que o que interessa mesmo, ele não sente falta dos time stretch, mas ele disse que nessa época todo mundo queria saber do equipamento, sabe, de como você usar o equipamento e experimentar novas coisas. Então foi mais ou menos isso que todo mundo tentava fazer, mas ao mesmo tempo com aquela velha coisa, sabe, fazer tudo dosado, tudo bonitinho, nada de mais, nada de menos, mas nesse limite. Então um grande exemplo é o break, o aim and break, que todo mundo continua usando ainda e todo mundo usa de maneiras diferentes e tenta fazer o melhor possível e tirar o som mais interessante do break, desse pedacinho, desse loop. Well, tell me about your favorite producers at the moment. You have some favorite producers at the moment? Something like now oh yeah, this guy is interesting.
Well, there are a few out there, but I don't want to say too much. But obviously, like usual suspects, like Fernie, he's making some really good stuff now, and obviously like Lensman, he's coming into his own. There's guys from all over the world now, which is a big difference. Back in the days, it was a lot of new producers from the UK, but now it's from all over the world. It's a global thing. From Russia, Electro Soul Systems making some great stuff, and obviously like Brazil, the Brazilian guys, and Germany, Poland, everywhere. And that's what kind of keeps me going, is that knowing that drum and bass is worldwide and people are still into it all over the world, and there's these new producers popping up and bringing new ideas to the table.
Ele disse que gosta muito das coisas tá gostando muito das coisas do Lensman, também das coisas do Fernie. E ele disse que a coisa que motiva ele a fazer música é o fato de drum and bass hoje ser uma coisa global, né? Você vê, tem produtores no Brasil, tem produtores na Polônia, na Alemanha, então abriu esse leque. Do you think this, like, when drum and bass, the drum and bass music is open for everybody, like everyone, like for around the world, start doing tunes? Do you think this is a good thing? Because back in the day, it's a proper UK sounds, UK producers. No one can cross the barrier. It was so hard. I remember first times when I came to London, first time everyone was looking at me and said, fucking hell, I hate this guy. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. I had like a really strange feelings, but then I start like meet people. Then one of the first people like really cool with me was Marcus Intellects and Smithy from Total Science. So of course Brian Frost, crazy guys as well, all the crazy people. So what do you think about all these processes just like happen?
I think, yeah, you're right. Back in the day, it was a UK thing, and not a lot of people, a lot of the UK producers, they didn't want to bring people in because they wanted to be successful themselves before bringing in other people. But with progress, you can't halt progress. you can't stop it. And it was only going to be a matter of time when our music was going to venture out to different countries. And Germany, I remember Germany was one of the first countries outside the UK to do big hardcore rave parties. And you know, I think that was the start of bringing in international DJs and international producers and them being more accepted.
Bom, ele disse que é um processo natural das coisas, né? Ele até citou aqui a Alemanha como um dos países que foi os primeiros a levarem, a fazer grandes raves de hardcore music, e eles sempre levavam assim diferentes DJs e os DJs da Inglaterra, e isso foi muito bom, processo natural, e ninguém vai poder parar isso, né? Então, sem chance. You play the piano, yeah?
Yes, I did.
Ele disse que tocou o piano
Ray can't play the piano. He can't even turn on the equipment in the studio.
He came in with the angry, the moody thing.
To be honest, I can't remember too much on when we made this tune. The only thing I can remember about when we made this tune was we used to use my father's old, actually they weren't old, they were quite new, Sony hi-fi speakers for our monitors, because we couldn't afford like expensive monitors at the time. So we borrowed my dad's Sony hi-fi monitors, and we actually blew one of the speakers making this tune. My dad's never ever let me forget that.
Meu, ele disse que o Ray primeiro ele não sabe tocar piano, primeiro que ele não sabe nem ligar o equipamento. I said the Ray don't know how to turn on the equipment. Mas ele disse que uma coisa que ele se lembra muito foi que o pai dele tinha 2 monitores da Sony e eles não tinham dinheiro para comprar monitores, então eles usaram os monitores do pai dele quando estavam fazendo essa música. E uma coisa que aconteceu foi que um dos monitores foi pro saco, eles estouraram a caixa, e o pai dele nunca perdoou ele por isso, e ele nunca vai se esquecer disso. That's a funny story. That's a funny. Yeah, I think your dad's still angry.
Yeah, my dad's still angry. But you know what? Ray was in my car one day, and I dropped Ray off home, and he left a bottle of champagne in my car. And my dad took the bottle of champagne, and he said to Ray, next time he saw Ray, he said, right, this bottle of champagne is for you blowing up my speaker.
Oh. Ele disse que foi dar uma carona pro Ray outro dia. O Ray deixou uma garrafa de champanhe no carro. Aí o pai dele entrou no carro e abriu a porta da garrafa de champanhe. Aí quando o Ray foi buscar a champanhe de volta, ele falou assim: ó, essa champanhe é minha porque você queimou meu falante. Esse é meu monitor. Oh man, wicked. Gabs, man, thank you very, very, very much for the interview and for your time. I know you busy man, you have to back to your little daughter. I understand a lot, you know. So I just have to say thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the UK soon. And probably I want to see you here in my country again. And as a promessa, tô fazendo aqui na rádio, I'll give you the bloody Corinthians t-shirt, yeah?
I know it's going to hurt you buying it.
It's hurting me. You're hurting me now.
Yeah, but listen, I just want to say a big thank you to the whole Ziggy Drum crew, to Slim, to Kleber, to Gnome, to everyone who...
It's not Gnome, it's Gremlin.
Oh, a Gremlin. or Mr. Sao Paulo, I call him. Mr. Sao Paulo. He knows everybody. We're walking down the street and he's like, hey, Gnome, yeah, Gnome. Everybody knows him.
He's the councilman for this country.
Oh, okay. He's like...
Ele vai ser o novo vereador aqui da cidade.
But yeah, I just got to say thank you to everyone for making me feel welcome and looking after me. And you know, I had a great time, and hopefully I'll come back next year and do it all again.
Wicked. Ele disse que muito obrigado para toda a crew da Ziggy Drum, também muito obrigado pro Gnome, Mr. São Paulo, que ele disse que todo mundo conhece ele aqui, que ele agora vai se candidatar a vereador aqui de São Paulo, né? É você e quem? Você e o Ronaldo. Ele e o Ronaldo, e queria agradecer também ao Kleber, também a todo mundo que fez ele se sentir muito, muito, muito bem-vindo aqui em São Paulo, e a gente espera revê-lo em breve. E como eu fiz a promessa aqui pra ele, eu vou levar uma camiseta pra ele do Corinthians lá pra Inglaterra, e tô ferrado. Official, yeah?
official.
No bootleg.
No bootleg.
No white label.
No white label, official. Official.
Official Nike one, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one.
Ok, eu vou ter que levar pra ele uma camiseta do Corinthians pra ele. Yeah, thanks once again, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Thanks. É isso aí, nosso super convidado mais que especial, uma big entrevista aí com o cara, Nookie. Quase 40 minutos de entrevista, um feito inédito aqui no Terremoto.